Hello and welcome to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and today we're looking at one of the granddaddy ships of the Star Wars line, Darth Vader's TIE Advanced X-1, or just Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which is what I call it. Now, this ship I was hunting for a very long time, and I finally found it. I got this one off eBay several years ago, and I love it. I always like the design. I think it has a lot going for it. Could it have been a little bigger? Sure, maybe. But the thing is, this is really heavy. The whole thing is die-cast. The body, the wings. The only piece on this that's not die-cast is the front window, which is plastic that's painted. I shined a light through it, you can't see through it, so whatever. For some reason they decided to paint the window. But this ship has a lot going for it, and I really want to get to the review. So let's get right into the mold and then the paint. This TIE Fighter is under 3 inches long, about 2.5 inches wide, and about maybe 1.25 inches tall. So it does have some nice dimensions when you compare it to other ships. But still, I would have liked it to be a little bigger, but this thing weighs a ton. Like it's basically a giant brick. So let's start with the wings here. All the paneling is done nice. We have some molded details here. And that's nice. We can see a lot of lines, little squares and rectangles, different shapes. And that's the same for this side as well. Now the interior of the wing, this is the top. A lot of nice work here. We have our panels that are detailed as well. And just a bunch of molded work. Look at the bottom of the wing. There's our copyright crap. Nice. Okay, for the bottom we have our screws. We have our peg hole. And just more detailed work. Just a bunch of lines. Great. Here's our engine here. Molded nicely. For the front, we have our lasers. More molded work going down these sections. Cockpit area is molded nicely. Oh, the front of the wing is nice when you see it like this. Okay, the top of the TIE Fighter, we have our cockpit, which is molded nicely. More line work. Our engine. I used to love my Action Fleet TIE Advance, where this would move back, and you would get to see the engine and the interior. That was sick. I miss the Action Fleet ships. And for the back, it's mostly smooth. And then we have this section here, which is molded. Okay, a neat thing about this is, in the cockpit, we have our little hinge there. And it does open up. As you can see, in the cockpit, there is no body in the seat this time, but we have a chair, some molded work, not much. It's basically just a mold. And that's where the joysticks would be to fly it. And there we have our window, which is painted so it looks black. But it's nice they did that, and there's no detail at the top. And that shuts nice. That does it for the detail. Let's get into the paint. Okay, for the paint, the main body is this nice grayish blue, which goes well with a lot of TIE Fighters, especially when they change the colors over. For Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, they went with this color scheme. With the blue, we have red for the lasers, which this is the only sloppy paint on here. Red for the back of the cockpit underneath. Red for the back of the cockpit on top. Then we have black. A lot of black. Back in the engine is black. Black on the bottom. Then we have the wings that are black. And it's all painted nicely, all in the lines. More black for the interior of the wings on both sides. And now the cockpit itself, where it should be translucent plastic, it is painted black, and it's nice. It is also painted black on the top of the hatch for the cockpit. Just like other Star Wars Titaniums and Black Series, it comes with a stand. Just plug it in the peg hole. And you're good to go. And that does it for my review of the Star Wars Titanium Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. Or TIE Advance X-1, whatever you would like to call it. I love this ship ever since I saw it in A New Hope, or Episode 4, whatever you would like to call it. And it was even on the animated show Rebels, where this bad boy with Darth Vader as the pilot took out a whole Rebel fleet. So that was pretty sick. So I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next time. Bye!